everyone. I'm Wendell Jones, and welcome to this edition of our program. And on our program today, we are going to talk about some creative people. We're going to talk about some motivational speakers, people who are doing a whole lot of things in our community to uplift a whole lot of people in what they do. There's something called InsightStage, creating aha moments. And you probably heard about it before on one of our previous platform programs. And so today on our program, we are going to be speaking with a number of individuals who are participating on InsightStage, have participating, and they're going to give us some idea of what InsightStage is all about. Our guests on the program in this first portion of our program, Michael Fountain, who is the organizer of InsightStage, and he is accompanied today by Catherine DeMerit, who is in real estate, and she tells me she also owns a school bus service, so she's very, very busy. And then Candy, who is who's been involved in broadcasting and doing a whole lot of things. She told me that I met her in Freeport, Grand Bahama, when she was involved there with a radio station, and since then she's been doing a whole lot of things. She worked in radio for almost 20 years at Cool 96, Global 99.5, and the host of relationship talk show, Love Jones. I wonder how come she hasn't been on Love 97, but anyway. Good afternoon and welcome to you all.
Good afternoon.
Thank you.
Good afternoon.
Thank you.
Good to see you. Mr. Fountain, you were here some weeks ago, and now you brought along some help, eh?
Oh yeah. We need to get the word out. So
Yes.
I brought in some of the speakers, so they can tell the public what they're about.
Very good.
How they're going to change lives.
Yes, and for those who didn't watch the program, the previous program that you were on, tell them more about InsightStage.
Well, InsightStage is a platform where we invite persons to tell their story. We always say that only 3 persons have access to the mic. You're either a DJ, a politician, or a pastor. So we give an ordinary person, or we consider an ordinary person, a stage and a mic to tell an extraordinary story. Mm-hmm. So basically, that's it. And
how long have you been doing this?
Since 2015.
2015.
Yeah.
So you've seen a whole lot of people who have been on InsightStage expressing themselves.
Yes, yes, and it's been phenomenal. We've seen lives changed.
Change for the better, you mean?
Well, definitely.
Yes.
Definitely.
Candy, good to see you.
And you as well, Mr. Jones. How are you?
Yes, what are you doing these days?
What am I not doing? Well, aside from being fabulously fluffy, I'm still in radio. I'm still hosting Love and Relationship, as you said, Love Jones. I figured you would get a kick out of the name. And for the most part, like Mike said, well, don't be mad at DJs for having the mic. I rather enjoy it. But it is about, what I love about InsightStage, I've been there from quite a while. And when we started off a little bit smaller with Mike, with people coming in, and you have everyone from writers to artists. You have people like Catherine that's in different fields and that happen to enjoy it. And then you have other people that are saying, I want to pursue my passions. I want to pursue things that not just are going to acquire me the things that I need to live on a materialistic basis, but I want to feel good when I get up every day. I want to feel involved and passionate about the things that I do, and that is somewhat what InsightStage is, making that connectivity happen. Not just surviving, not just being and existing, but actually living and delving into what life has to offer. So that's why I love being involved with InsightStage.
Actually living.
Living. You have to say it with that zeal.
Yes.
Living.
Yes.
You gotta feel it.
Explain living.
Living, for instance, I've told Mike that before, and I've shared a little bit of that. I've already been through 2 bouts of cancer. I'm a mother of 3 beautiful children, and yet I get up every day and I pursue life because I've realized that all of the shoes and the clothing and the things that you acquire, they don't get you anywhere when you're laying there.
Right.
It is the people that you meet and the impact that you have every day that makes you a success. It's not the things that you own or the things that you have. It's just meeting Michael and saying hello. And he said, wow, people don't say hello anymore. I'm going to tell Catherine hello. And when Catherine sees Mr. Jones, she'll say hello. And he'll spread that. So it's about really living and having interaction with the people, not just saying, you know, behemoths. Say, it's, how are you doing? What's your day? What you had for breakfast? Aren't these strawberries delicious? It's feeling, it's tasting, it's enjoying the zest of life and encouraging other people to do the same. And it's not hard.
The zest of life.
The zest of life.
You bring a certain amount of ebullience to life.
And that's why he enlisted me to host.
I see. I
Yes.
see. So, Catherine, how did you get involved?
Well, I met one of the other mentors one day. I'm a people's person, so I was in one of my favorite places. I won't call the name because it'll be an ad. And I saw her and I said, "You look like someone I know." And I told her who the person was. And she said she gets that a lot. I said, "But anyhow, let's meet." And then I said, "Could we have a cup of tea somewhere else?" And that's how it all started. And, you know, I just wanted to know her, you know, and that's what I do. I actually love to meet people.
And a whole lot of people need to be motivated, eh?
They do.
Yes.
Yes, and I'm full of it.
And you, and
I am full.
yes, yes. And so you've brought Fountain a whole lot of people together, and you encourage people to attend InsightStage to be motivated.
Yes, well, this particular event, this is actually probably our biggest event. You know, it's called Start Your Engines 2019. So we're going to have 7 mentors, 7 tables, 7 topics. And then the idea is each person that's going to attend is going to get a chance to sit at each table and hear or interact with each of the mentors. Yeah.
Do you have to have a particular personality as a mentor?
No, no. I mean, the thing about it is, like I said, you know, our thing is we invite so-called ordinary people that have extraordinary stories. So, you know, believe it that our persons are handpicked. So, you know, we get a feel for what they're going to talk about with the topics that we've chosen. And once we understand where they're coming from and where they're going, we feel that it's going to make an impact, then definitely you're in.
An impact how? Let's talk about the objective of all of this.
The objective of the event is to change persons from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset. You know, like Candy was saying, you know, we want to create a community where persons can feel as if the challenges of life don't have to stop them. You know, where they feel they're in the community where if I'm going through something, I can call this person and say, "Hey, what can I do in this situation?" You know, so it's all about building that community, and that's what we want to do. So that's what the event is for, is to actually build a community, a sustainable community.
It's about community bonding?
Yes, definitely.
Yes?
Yeah.
You know, there are many people who feel in the doldrums. They're going through some difficult times. Wherever you go, you hear people complaining about the economy. They complain about not meeting their or reaching their full potential and all of this. We are in an environment sometimes of complaint, an environment of negativity. Yes?
Yes, it's cognitive. It is. You know, it's passed on, and this is what we talked about our last session together. It's being passed on from generation to generation, but it's time to do something. You know, not because your parents tell you or someone tell you it's tough. It's always been tough. We need to break out of that.
Candy said you said you have a zest for life, and you have this bubbly personality. But it's difficult to be bubbly when you have all of these, when you are attacked by these contrary winds of life.
In a way, I can agree, and then in a way not. And see, this is why it's so important to have something on a localized level. We see people such as, I'll just use him because I've been affiliated, as well as today happens to be his birthday, Steve Harvey. And we see that, and a lot of times we look up to that. Oh, we want that, we want to do that, we want to be that. We want to tap into that level of fame. But it's a little bit less attainable because he's so far away, so to speak. But when there are people that are around you that have not only obtained a certain level of success, and like I said, not necessarily everything that is success is monetary, but some people that have attained that as well as the other parts of it. When you can see people, touch people, it's tangible, it makes it a little bit easier. I'm not telling you to just get up right so. I've been where you've been, I've been through what you've been through. Perhaps I've walked through a hotter fire than you, and I'm still telling you that you can do it. And that's what's important, having persons that you can have a one-on-one connection with, something that you can pick up the phone. We have a group InsightStage where you wake up in the morning and there are inspirational thoughts that are placed in the group. There are things that are said, listen, get up and get it going. Yeah, traffic on the road, but don't you still need to get to work? So sitting home complaining about the traffic that you haven't entered yet isn't gonna help you get to where you need to be. Get in your car, cut the music on, listen to Candy, and let me boost you and help you get to where you need to be. Please and thank you.
That's easier said than done.
It is, but you have to put the first foot forward.
Yes.
And InsightStage is assisting you and giving you that push that you need. Some baby birds, they fall and boop, there they go, they're on the ground. But then if you happen to be that one that's fall, we're going to help you up. And then there are others that they just naturally fly. Well, we're going to be the undercurrent to their wind to help you fly that much further. Either which way, whatever stage we find you in, we're here to inspire and to help you have your aha moment.
You know, Candy, people listening to you would say, oh, that is easier for you to say. You know, I just lost my job and I have 4 children. I am a single mother. I don't know how to feed these children. I've been trying to find a job.
Okay, let me listen to your checklist. I've been single.
Yes.
I was married for 20 years and now I'm divorced, so I'm taking care of 3 children right now on my own. I was out of work for almost 2 years, just recently started back. I've been ill and here I am sitting fluffed.
Yes.
I know what it is not to sometimes you open your cupboard, there's nothing there, and yet still here I sit. You can rise, you must. As long as the sun persists to rise, so must you. And it is up to you. You have to make a choice. No one has it easy. No, not everyone was born with a silver spoon, but you have to create your opportunity sometimes all on your own. Steve Harvey, for instance, he's been a salesman, a boxer, a carpet cleaner. He slept in his car, and yet where he sits today at 61 is much different than where he sat at 51, 41, 31. Sometimes we don't all make the successes in our youth either. Sometimes, as Catherine said earlier, in your winter years is when you find the passions that most excite you. Then pursue them then, but you must pursue.
Where's faith in all of this? Your faith.
I think the mere fact that we're all sitting here is an act of faith.
Absolutely.
Because the bottom line is, without faith, I mean, we can't function, we can't move. Whether we believe it or not, we are always moving in faith. You're saying, okay, I have another meeting in another 2 hours. Guess what? That's faith. You don't know if you're even going to have the breath to get there. Sure. And so we have to realize, and I think what InsightStage is doing is letting persons know you're not alone. You're not alone. Just because you're suited, Mike is suited, I'm suited, Candy has on a nice dress, we don't have it all together. You are not alone. But don't look at me and judge me as I was 20 years ago, 10 years ago, 5 years ago, not even yesterday. Because at any moment, the light could come on and you can just shoot to wherever it is that you need to be. That's faith.
And you, about positive thinking.
Of course.
Yes?
Yeah, my topic is actually the journey versus the destination.
The journey versus the destination.
That's my topic.
Yeah.
And I have had a journey right here in the Bahamas. And so people need to realize and understand, because I think a lot of times parents in this latter generation has tried to shield their children from harm and hurt, which is all right, but don't give them a perception that life is perfect, that life doesn't have challenges. You know, don't hide from your children that guess what, there are going to be pitfalls. We have to be real, because at the end of the day, when the younger generation seems to think that it's just get a degree and you're made, and they're finding out now that it doesn't work that way.
Yeah. But, you know, in days gone by, as they say, the community came together.
Yes.
We had a better sense of community, and people helped out one another. You know, neighbors got together, they shared. Even though this is a small country and we live in small communities, you don't see that degree of neighborliness, yes?
No, we don't see it like how it used to be.
And so a whole lot of people are on their own, right?
Yeah.
Struggling on their own,
Yes.
especially in Freeport,
Agreed.
yes?
Yes.
And so those people who are on their own and struggling on their own, and they don't know how to make ends meet, Candy. You see, you have a bubbly personality and you are very articulate. You can go out there and speak and you can make things happen because people would listen to you because you have a facility with the language, right? But there are a whole lot of people who are passive.
Yeah.
They are not as articulate as you are, and they say, you know, I hear Candy, but you know, I just don't know how to do this thing.
Mr. Jones, I agree with you. And the thing about that is, and I think that's what I love about InsightStage as well. I like to call them my grassroots people. Listen, I can speak the Queen's English at any point in time. I can change my accent and speak like that as well. Y'all listen to me. You gotta get up and do what you gotta do. So you have to, InsightStage is filled with people. We're not on any high horses here. We believe in rolling up sleeves and putting on your flip-flops and getting in there and getting help and rendering wherever it may find. That's what we are, and we would like to be the voice of those that are voiceless. Those that cannot articulate, we would like to articulate for you. That's what this is all about, and it is about each one, teach one, reach one, pull another up. And so sometimes we find each other in this business atmosphere, and then we connect with other people that need, and we say, listen, here are some people in so-and-so village. Here are some people here and there that need. Let's go see what we can do there. So it's starting somewhere, but we're looking to go everywhere. And all you need to do is first reach out. I know as Bahamians, we've been taught to be prideful because my grandma used to say, if you got a penny and or none, ain't nobody supposed to know that. Chin up, draw these brows on, and get out there. And yes, they are drawn.
Yes, and they're beautiful, by the way.
Thank you so very, very much.
Yes.
But no, you know, we are of that mindset, but we have to break out of that. You have to tell me what you need. Tell me what it is that you pursue. Tell me what you want so that I can help you. Or if I cannot, I can enlist Mike. I can enlist. We can enlist Reg. We can enlist others that can offer you the help that you so desperately need.
But that is not my personality, someone would say. You know, you are an extrovert, and you know, I am an introvert. I am not like Candy.
Wasn't always, though. Could you believe I used to be very much a wallflower?
And how did
You don't
you
look
get,
like you believe me.
and how did you get so extroverted?
It's
Life.
It's life.
Life.
Life is your harsh teacher. And it teaches you, and I have a daughter right now that doesn't say, and everyone will look at us and say, but mommy is like that, but you're so clamored. Everyone takes their own time. Catherine is talking about a journey. Sometimes you have to get down into the nitty gritty and you have to hit your ground zero in order for you to get to where you need to be. Some people never grow unless they've been to nothing. I know I had to come to nothing in order to realize the wealth of things that I truly had. Sometimes you just have to be in that place. And I think our country is in such a place where we're getting down to the facts where we have to understand that we're getting to a place of nothing. And if we don't bind together, as you said, and a community mind, then we will end up as just individuals alone, or we can bind together with whatever limited resources and make them multiply themselves. But if we don't get it together, we are going to perish as a people.
And a whole lot of us are perishing.
Absolutely.
Yes. So you are building a sense of community, yes?
Yes, I'm in awe of what Candy's saying. I mean, I know how impactful InsightStage is, but now I'm like in awe of what she's saying. Please continue. I'm loving this, you know, because like I said, I've been to. I mean, you know, you talk about, you know, when you talked about introverts, we've had persons who, you know, came to us and said, listen, I I've never spoken before. You know, I've never gotten in front of a crowd and spoke before. And when they get up there, you can't shut them up.
Yeah.
You know, and then they call you afterwards and said, can I speak again? You know, and they just wanted someone
People just want to vent, eh?
Yeah.
Just want to get it out.
Yeah, so it's like I said. And the thing about it is, for me, like, I'm so excited about this event because I kind of wish now I wasn't one of the mentors, because I want an opportunity to sit at each table myself and see if I can learn something from the mentors. You know, it's kind of late to change it, but the next one, I definitely won't be a mentor.
So even if you have done some things well and you have been successful, you are invited to participate.
Yes, because there's always areas in life.
You might be a great winner.
Yeah.
Or a loser. You're inviting the winners and the losers.
And the losers. All ages, or losers, yeah. All ages. You know, if you've accomplished, you haven't accomplished. If you want to share your accomplishment at the event, come on. I mean, we're open to hearing about it, you know. And the thing about it is, I told you, we're trying to build a community. A lot of times when you go to these, you know, conferences or events, you know, that's it. Once you're done with it, that's it. Like I said, we're trying to build a community. So after the event, we want to be able to support you afterwards. And that's the idea, to keep on supporting you.
This is a hard-edged place, Catherine. This Bahamas is. And there are a whole lot of people jealous and envious and mean-spirited, and there are a whole lot of people who just want to see you down. They are very happy when they have company, because they are down in the dumps, and they just want to believe that, well, Catherine is doing bad too, so I'm all right. So how do you respond to these things? And I want Candy to weigh in on that too.
Well, the thing is, we have a statement that we use as Bahamians called the black crab syndrome.
Yes.
I think that's what you're referring to. But
Partially.
But the thing is this. I think that's just a segment of society. I really believe that there are Bahamians that want to see other Bahamians succeed. I believe that there are Bahamians that want to push another generation to the next level. I do believe that there is a community of Bahamians that want success for the Bahamian people. And I think that crew of people is the minority. And I believe that when those that want to see success stand up and begin to talk a little louder than the black crabs, then I think we'll see change. And that's what InsightStage is all about. Really sounding the alarm to say that you can be anything you want to be. Foreign is not better. It is still better and getting better in the Bahamas, period.
Yeah, you know, but Candy, you know, I hear people sometimes, and I am able to get into their psyche, and they revel in the thought that, well, you know, I'm doing bad, but that person is doing bad too.
Or worse.
Or worse. You know, I thought I was doing bad, child, but boy, Candy doing worse than me.
And then there are some people that actually get up in the day and say, how can I make someone else's life miserable? There are actually people that are like that, but we have to combat that. See, the thing about it is, I believe too that we have to change the way that we view success. I think in our society we've been taught the more you have, the bigger your house, the wider your picket fence is, the finer your wife is, the more built your man is, that's success. When they close the doors, they argue, they fuss, they fight. So what's the point of this facade? We need to break those walls down. I would much rather be in a cardboard box and be happy, and my children are having joyous attitudes, than live in a mansion and miserable. But that's just me. But I want to change the mindset of what success is. It's not about grabbing and having and having. You wake up in the morning and you feel good about waking up. You feel good in your shoes. You feel blessed that you're alive. You feel blessed that you can say, morning neighbor, how are you? You know, I want to change the way that success is. It's not about as much as you can have. And furthermore, when you do have, how can I share? How can I change my society? How can I impact my society positively? Listen, your garden looks nice, but how did it get that way? There has to be a gardener that gardens. There has to be a man that sweats, that toils in your dirt. A man that has to be dirty. We can't all be highfalutin. But without that gardener, you won't eat. Your garden won't look right. Your tomatoes won't grow. So we need to learn to appreciate that man that is in the dirt and sweating, and we have to uplift him so that he knows that his life is worth living, and he too is a success. It's not just the businessman that he works for.
Yeah, but you live in a community where success is measured by the acquisition of things.
But how did it get to be that way?
We are thingsy.
We've created
And
that, though.
Women like stuff.
Eh?
They like, uh-huh.
But you know, like things too.
I don't.
But from the beginning of time, huh?
you know,
Hello?
No, no. People.
That ain't nothing new.
But people have always been like that.
We live in a society where people look at their quality of life by
Quantity of things they have.
how much they have acquired.
But Mr. Jones, from Bible time, and Abraham had a soft fur coat, and Goliath might have wanted it, and James had this, and he wanted that. There was a brother that killed another brother just to have his birthright. This is nothing that is new. This is something that has always been, and yet here we are, BC and all of that after the fact, eh? So there had to be a group of people, there will always be, that is thingsy, that like stuff, that want to emulate, and then there are the others, the exceptions.
But it's your
that-
job
that is geared
on
to change.
Insight to get people out of that mindset. And I want to find out how you're going to do it, because that is a part of who we are.
Well, you're assisting by just giving us the opportunity to sit here. You are a part of that process.
Yes.
So it's about people joining with other people. We have a cause that we're pushing. You have said, sit with me. Let us talk about that. Let's elevate the cause. Therefore, you are now holding our hands. Enrique Suarez behind the camera. He is a part of it as well because he is operating the camera. He has joined hands with us. The gentleman that mic'd us up, he is a part of our process. The person that allows us out of the corner to pull into your parking lot, a part of the process. We all are a part of the process. But again, Rome was not built in a day. It will take time. As it took time to get here, we have to take time in order to reverse what is negative into positive. But it has to start somewhere.
One of the things that I spoke of on a radio program that I did was about, I talked about mediocrity, and that we are a mediocre society. The president of the Christian Council talked about moving the Bahamas from good to great. I said, well, we need to start from moving us from mediocrity to good.
True.
Yes. And it takes a tremendous amount of discipline for that to happen. We are, a whole lot of us, I don't want to generalize, are an ill-disciplined people. How do you get a higher level of discipline in the society?
Who will take it?
You.
Ooh, Mr. Jones, I believe you like when I talk.
Yes, yes, I like when you talk. And I like when she talked too.
Ah, Lord. But we had up with you.
Well, you know,
Mikey.
you guys.
To be honest, it starts at home. And it may sound frivolous, but that's the truth. You know, a lot of the things that we see now, the mentality of our society has changed from the beckoning of parents within the home. I can honestly say that I watch the way that people parent their children, the way that they regard education. People are comfortable with the average. That never used to be the case. Even when we did not have the proper facilities, there were wooden schools. Sometimes children had one pencil between them to share. It wasn't about clocks and style. You went to school as if, however you were, and you were told you weren't going to make friends, you're going to go get education. That has slowly changed. Now it's about who in the most stylish, who has the best backpack. That has to turn around, but it has to begin at home. And how are we to be regarded as less than mediocre if we do not see ourselves as more than? Whatever it is, however it is, it must start with self. Has to.
That's right.
The mediocrity thing is so prevalent, and it is something that I abhor, because I've always considered myself a perfectionist because things always have to be right. But the one thing I've learned in mentoring and in training is that service has a spirit. And if you have the spirit of service, you're able to transfer that spirit onto those who are under you. If you go back to the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, and even the 80s when things began to really shift as it becomes to service. You would have seen the pride that maids took in wearing their uniform, being fully starched, how nice the houseman looked, and the pride they took in their jobs. There came a generation, I think it came in the 80s, when we had that influx of drugs, when everyone was getting easy money, and people thought that they didn't have to serve anymore. They now became equal with who they were serving. They now had the Gucci bags, and now they had the weave, and so the concept of service had shifted. And I believe that is where we saw the downfall of service in this country, where people no longer respected the next person because I have what you have. We are equal. And that's I believe that began a downfall. But there is a way, if the perspective of people, the younger generation, can shift to understand that the same blood that runs in your vein runs in mine, that you have the same capacity that I have. If you just push, if you just pursue, because we're equal, we are equal. And so you have to now do the best you can with the challenges that you have come up against. But there is a way to shift it. But it's the spirit. You have to literally pour yourself into someone else.
Yeah.
I don't know how much more time we have in this segment, but I have to take a break here. We take this break here on our program, The Platform. We'll come right back.